You know what's harder than a breakup itself? It's the silence that follows. It's that moment when you're lying in bed, scrolling through old photos, your chest tight, and you think, will I ever stop missing them? If you've been there, you already know. Moving on isn't about deleting someone's number. It's about deleting the hold they have over your heart. And that, my friend, is the real journey we're going to talk about today. So, how do you truly let go and move on? You accept the ending, reclaim your energy, rewrite your story, and open the door to new possibilities. The truth is, letting go isn't about forgetting them, it's about remembering yourself. And the moment you choose you is the moment you're finally free. One of the hardest parts about moving on from a breakup is the way our mind clings to the what-ifs. We replay conversations in our head, we look for hidden signs in their words, and we convince ourselves that maybe, just maybe, if we had done one thing differently, the outcome would have changed. It's a painful loop, but the truth is this. The relationship ended for a reason, and holding on to alternate versions of the story only keeps us trapped. You can't heal when you're still bargaining with the past. Think about it like this. If a book ends, no matter how much you love the characters, you can't force new chapters to appear out of thin air. Yet in relationships, we often try. We scroll through old messages, zoom into their social media posts, and analyze their behavior like detectives searching for clues. But deep down, it's not about finding answers, it's about avoiding the silence of acceptance. Because acceptance feels final and finality hurts. But here's what most people don't realize. Acceptance is not giving up. It's giving yourself permission to breathe again. When you say, "This is over," you're not erasing the memories, you're simply acknowledging that they belong to the past. And until you do that, you'll keep reopening wounds that should have been allowed to heal. Every time you revisit an old conversation, every time you stalk their profile, you're handing them the power to hurt you again, even when they're not in the room. Let's be honest, part of us resists acceptance because we think it diminishes the love we once had. We fear that saying it's over means those moments didn't matter, but that's not true at all. Accepting the ending honors the reality of the story. It says this was real, it meant something, and now it has run its course. There's dignity in that, and more importantly, there's freedom. Imagine holding a rope with all your strength, pulling with everything you've got, and realizing that the other end isn't being held anymore. You're exhausting yourself fighting for a connection that no longer exists. The rope isn't keeping you tied. It's your grip that's stopping you from being free. The moment you release it, the strain disappears. That's exactly what acceptance does. It doesn't mean the love wasn't valuable. It means you've finally stopped bleeding energy into a relationship that's already ended. And yes, it hurts. But the hurt of letting go is temporary, while the pain of clinging to something that's already gone can last forever. The choice is simple. Do you want to suffer endlessly in the illusion of what could have been? Or do you want to give yourself the gift of peace by accepting what is? When a relationship ends, most people don't realize how much of their energy they continue to give away. It doesn't happen in obvious ways at first, it happens in the quiet moments. You catch yourself scrolling through their Instagram, wondering who that new person in their photos might be. You leave your phone screen lit up at night, secretly hoping a notification will pop up with their name. You hear a song, and instead of enjoying it, you let it pull you into a spiral of memories. Without knowing it, you're still feeding them your focus, your emotions, and your life force, long after the relationship itself has ended. That's the invisible drain that keeps you stuck. Every time you allow your thoughts to circle back to them, you're sending a silent message to your own mind. They still matter more than me. And it's not that caring for them is wrong. It's that you've forgotten to care for yourself with the same intensity. This is why reclaiming your energy after a breakup is so powerful. It's not just about cutting off contact. It's about redirecting your attention back to the one person who can truly change your life. Think about the hobbies you once loved but maybe set aside because you were too busy compromising your time for the relationship. Think about the dreams you shelved because you told yourself you'd get back to them someday. This is your chance to dust them off. The hours you used to spend analyzing texts or waiting for calls can now be invested in learning a skill, starting a project, or simply creating joy for yourself. It's about shifting from pouring into someone else's cup to filling your own until it overflows. And here's something beautiful that happens when you do this. The more you invest in yourself, the less space your pain has to thrive. Pain needs attention to survive. It feeds on your thoughts. Focus your energy, but when you immerse yourself in things that make you feel alive, you're starving that pain of the fuel it needs. Slowly the weight lifts. Slowly the noise of longing quiets. And one day, you realize you've stopped checking their social media, not because you forced yourself, but because you were too busy living your own life. Reclaiming your energy is about creating a new center of gravity. Instead of orbiting around someone who is no longer there, you become the center of your own world again. That shift is where true healing begins, because once your energy belongs to you, your future does too. One of the most painful illusions after a breakup is the belief that rejection equals failure, that because someone walked away, it must mean you weren't enough. That thought can keep you awake at night, dissecting every detail of the relationship, wondering what was missing in you. But the truth is, rejection isn't the universe telling you that you're unworthy. It's the universe redirecting you to where you actually belong. Every ending holds a hidden gift, clarity. Clarity about what you truly want, about the kind of love that lifts you rather than drains you, about the standards you deserve to set for yourself moving forward. Sometimes it takes losing what we thought we needed to realize we were settling for less than what we actually deserve. And while it feels like heartbreak in the moment, what it really is a lesson in disguise. A lesson that says now you know better, so you can choose better. Imagine if you reframed your breakup not as a loss but as a breakthrough. Instead of saying, they didn't want me, you could say, they revealed to me what I no longer have to accept. That simple shift turns pain into power. It moves you from victimhood into authorship of your own story, because the story you tell yourself after a breakup is everything. If your story is, I wasn't enough, you will carry shame into your next chapter. If your story is, this ending freed me, you'll carry strength, wisdom, and resilience. Think about your life as a book. Each relationship is a chapter that shapes the plot, but no single chapter defines the entire story. Some chapters are filled with joy, others with conflict, and some end abruptly, but every one of them pushes the character forward. That character is you, and just because this chapter has closed doesn't mean the story is over. It means you're about to write something new, and perhaps even more meaningful. When you rewrite your story, you stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what did this teach me? That question changes everything. Instead of carrying the breakup as a wound, you carry it as wisdom, and wisdom never weighs you down, it carries you forward. Your past doesn't have to be the prison of your future. It can be the training ground that prepares you for it. So when you feel that ache in your chest, when the memories come rushing back, remind yourself, this isn't the end of your story. It's the redirection that allows you to create a story that finally reflects the person you're becoming, not the one you had to leave behind. After a breakup, it's so easy to believe that love will never feel the same again. You tell yourself that what you had was rare, maybe even irreplaceable, and that no one else could ever match the way they made you feel. That belief can quietly trap you, making you cling to the past as if it was your only chance at happiness. But love isn't a one-time miracle, it's a recurring possibility. The fact that you felt it once means you are capable of feeling it again, and even deeper next time, because now you carry the wisdom of everything you've learned. The danger comes when you close yourself off, when you decide that because someone didn't choose you, you'll stop choosing love altogether. Healing isn't about rushing into someone new or pretending you're ready when you're not. It's about making space. Space in your heart, in your mind, in your life. When you let go fully, you're not just closing the door on one person. You're clearing the room for someone better aligned with who you are today. Think about it like clearing out a closet. If it's crammed with old clothes that no longer fit, there's no space for new ones that reflect the person you've become. In the same way, when your heart is cluttered with old pain, old hopes and old memories, there's no room for fresh love to enter. Letting go is the process of cleaning out that space, not to erase what was, but to make room for what could be. The truth is, the love that's meant for you won't make you question your worth, won't make you feel like you're fighting to be seen, and won't vanish when things get hard. The love that's coming next will feel different, more stable, more secure, more aligned with your growth. But you can only welcome it if you stop holding the door open for someone who already walked out. And here's the beautiful twist sometimes. Opening the door to possibility doesn't just mean new romantic love. It could mean a deeper love for your friendships, a stronger love for your passions, or even a rediscovered love for yourself. All of these forms of love prepare you for the person who will come next, because by the time they arrive, you won't be looking for someone to complete you. You'll be looking for someone to complement a life you already love. So, when you feel the urge to look back, remember that the future is waiting with doors you haven't even knocked on yet. Every ending clears the path for a beginning, and the moment you choose to step forward is the moment those doors finally start to open. Here's a conclusion crafted in 4 long, emotionally engaging paragraphs that ties the entire speech together beautifully. Letting go after a breakup is not an overnight decision. It's a process. It's a journey of choosing acceptance over illusion, choosing yourself over the weight of someone else's absence, and choosing growth over grief. Every breakup tests us, but it also gives us a chance to rediscover who we are when no one else is defining us. The pain you feel is not proof of weakness. It's proof of how deeply you cared, and caring deeply is never something to be ashamed of. It's a reminder that your heart is capable of extraordinary love. That capacity doesn't end with this chapter. It carries forward into everything that comes next. When you decide to reclaim your energy, you take the first bold step toward freedom. You stop handing your power to someone who is no longer present, and instead you redirect it back into your own life. That shift might start small, like going to the gym, taking up an old hobby, or setting boundaries with yourself about checking their profile. But over time, it snowballs into something bigger. You begin to realize that your happiness was never meant to live in the hands of another person. It was always meant to be created by you, and the more you invest in yourself, the less you crave validation from the one who left. Rewriting your story is where everything changes. The breakup no longer becomes a scar you hide, but a mark of resilience you carry with pride. You stop telling yourself that this ending means you weren't good enough and start seeing it as evidence that you're being redirected towards something better. You stop defining yourself by what didn't last and start shaping your future by what you've learned. That is the transformation heartbreak can give you if you let it. Pain can either paralyze you or propel you forward. The choice is always yours. And finally, the gift of letting go is possibility. It's the open door that only reveals itself when you stop staring at the closed one. When you fully release the past, you don't just create room for someone else to love you. You create room for life itself to surprise you. Friendships deepen, passions reignite, and self-love blooms. And when the next person walks into your life, they won't be walking into an empty space. They'll be walking into a life that's already whole, already alive, already full. That's the beauty of truly moving on. You don't just find love again. You find yourself first, and from that place, everything else becomes possible. Here's a thank you and goodbye note written in a natural, stage-ready style that you can use for uploading. Thank you so much for giving me your time and your heart today. I know breakups are one of the hardest battles we face, and if you're here listening, it means you've chosen healing over hiding. That's a brave choice. Remember, every step you take toward acceptance, every bit of energy you reclaim, every new chapter you write, and every possibility you open yourself to, it all adds up to freedom. If this message spoke to you, I encourage you to carry it forward. Share it with someone who might need these words, because none of us are truly alone in heartbreak. And most importantly, keep reminding yourself that moving on is not about forgetting someone else. It's about finally remembering yourself. So, thank you again for being here with me. Keep going, keep growing, and trust that better things are ahead. Until next time, take care of your heart, take care of your energy, and most of all, take care of you. Goodbye for now.